Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs. Look at everything tonight. Baseball, soccer, idol, baseball power rankings that we did yesterday. The portfolio, give out a future, news and notes, and best bet. NBA playoffs will kick it off. We'll go over the results from yesterday and look ahead to the games being played tonight. Sixers over the Nets, 96-84 to take a 2-0 series lead. Tyrese Maxey led the way, 33 points. Cam Johnson, 28 for Brooklyn. Kings over the Warriors, 114-106 to take a 2-0 series lead. Good for them. Domantas Sabonis, 24 points, 9 boards. Stephen Curry had 28 and 6 dishes. All right, 3 games tonight, 7 o'clock on NBA TV. You have the Hawks and the Celtics. I project 11.5 in favor of Boston, total 232 and 13/20. And here we have Boston giving 10.5, totals 230.5. I'll take the over. 7:30 TNT, Knicks, Cavs. I have Cavs 5.5, total 223 and 4 fifths. No Josh Hart potentially for New York. And it is 5.5 and 214. So right on the money with the line. I'm going to take the over again. Then 10 o'clock on TNT, Clippers, Suns. Brian Anderson, Stan Van Gundy on the call. Knicks, Clippers is Kevin Harlan and Reggie Miller. So Clips, Suns, I have Suns 7.5, total 225 and 9/10, and it's 8.5 and 225.5. So very close. So I'm going to go slight lean to the Clippers against the spread, but the Suns will even up the series tonight. All right, now move on to the Stanley Cup playoffs. A very entertaining first day of the playoffs for sure. And then tonight, we have some good ones as well. Hurricanes over the Islanders 2-1 to take a 1-0 series lead. Number 3 started the game with 2 assists is Martin Nasos. Number 2 started the game with 2 assists. Brent Burns. Number 1 started the game with 25 saves on 26 shots. Antti Ranta. Bruins over the Panthers 3-1 to take a 1-0 series lead. The number 3 started the game with a goal, Jake DeBrusk. Number 2 started the game with 2 assists, Tyler Bertuzzi. Number 1 started the game with 31 saves on 32 shots, Linus Ullmark. Wild over the Stars 3-2 in double overtime on a game winner by Ryan Hartman as the Wild go up 1-0 in the series. The number 3 started the game with 45 saves on 48 shots, Jake Ottinger. Number 2 start of the game with 51 saves on 53 shots, Frederick Gustafsson. And the number 1 started the game with the overtime winner, Ryan Hartman. And it was 12:20 into double overtime. This game ended at like 2 o'clock in the morning. And the Kings over the Oilers 4-3 in overtime on a game winner by Alex Iafallo. Kings go up 1-0 in the series. The number 3 star of the game with the goal and 3 assists, Anze Kopitar. Number 2 started the game with 2 goals, Leon Draisaitl. Number 1 started the game with 2 goals, Adrian Kempe. So, great game. This game ended around 1 o'clock in the morning, and Iafallo scored his game winner about 9 minutes into OT. All right, 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock, TBS, Rangers, Devils, Game 1 from Prudential Center. That place is going to be rocking. Both fan bases will show up and out. Devils are minus 134, Rangers plus 112, over under 5.5. Overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Rangers plus 1.5 is minus 30. Devils minus 1.5 is plus 188. I'm going to go with the under. I think this is an under game. I don't know who wins, though. I'm going to gunpoint probably the Rangers, but I'll take the under. ESPN at 7:30, the Lightning and the Maple Leafs. The Leafs are minus 160. The Lightning are plus 132, over under 5.5. Overs minus 132, unders plus 108. Lightning plus 1.5 is minus 192. Leafs minus 1.5 is plus 158. I'm going with the Lightning in Game 1 at plus 132. 9:30 on ESPN2, Jets and the Golden Knights. Should be a great game. Vegas is minus 156. Jets plus 130, over under 5.5, minus 110 each way. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 205. Vegas minus 1.5 is plus 168. I love the over in that game. And at 10 o'clock on ESPN, you have the Kraken and the Avalanche. That's going to be a fun game one. Avs are minus 196. Kraken plus 162. Over under 6.5. Overs plus 108. Unders minus 132. Kraken plus 1.5 is minus 146. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 122. I'm going to go with the over in that game as well. So an under, 2 overs, and an underdog. How many road teams win tonight? I'm going to say 2. The Lightning and either the Rangers or Winnipeg. I just don't know which one. Or maybe Seattle. Who knows? But I think it's going to be like the Lightning and somebody else. I just don't know who of the other road teams will win. And then yesterday we had the 2 in the West win, which was pretty cool. All right, baseball. We'll go over yesterday's results, and we have a bigger window for tonight. Angels over the Red Sox 5-4. Marlins over the Giants 4-3. Reds over the Rays 8-1. Upset I called on the podcast yesterday. Rangers over the Royals 4-0. D-backs over the Cards 6-3. Astros over the Blue Jays 9-2. Pirates over the Rockies 14-3. Cubs over the A's 10-1. Brewers over the Mariners 7-3. Braves over the Padres 2-0. Mets over the Dodgers 8-6. Guardians, Tigers, and Phil's White Sox postponed. Guardians, Tigers, it says cold, and Phil's White Sox, it says wind. And both of those teams will be hosting doubleheaders today. All right, so 1 o'clock, Guardians, Tigers, Game 1. Hunter Gaddis, Matt Boyd. Guardians minus 134, Tigers plus 114, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 125, Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 150. Same pick as I made yesterday, the Tigers plus 114. 4 o'clock, Game 1, Phillies, White Sox. Zach Wheeler and Lance Lynn. Phil's minus 132, White Sox plus 104, over under 8, minus 10 each way. Phil's minus 1.5 is plus 134, White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 162. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3.5, White Sox runs at minus 102. I don't remember if that was my pick yesterday or not. Game 2, Guardians, Tigers. Peyton Battenfield and Eduardo Rodriguez. Guardians minus 134, Tigers plus 114, over under 8.5, minus 110 each way. Guardians minus 1.5 is plus 128, Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 154. I'm going to go with the over in that game. 6:40, Giants, Marlins. Alex Wood and Edward Cabrera. Giants minus 110, Marlins minus 106, over under 8, minus 110 each way. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 146, Marlins plus 1.5 is minus 176. I'll take the Giants to bounce back and end the losing streak, minus 110. Rays, Reds. Taj Bradley and Nick Lodolo. Rays minus 124, Reds plus 106, over under 9, overs minus 122, unders even money. Rays minus 1.5 is plus 132, Reds plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm going to go with an interesting pick here if it presents itself. I'm going to go with the under Rays run, so under 4.5 at minus 102. Nick Lodolo's looked like an ace so far for the Reds this year, so that's why I'm making that pick. 7 o'clock, Angels, Yanks. Jose Suarez, Clark Schmidt. Yanks minus 146, Angels plus 124, over under 9, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 156, Yankees minus 1.5 is plus 130, over 9, minus 115. Both these pitchers stink. Orioles, Nats, so a rivalry in state, technically. Or I should say a freeway rivalry. Dean Kremer and Josiah Gray. Orioles are favored minus 146, Nats plus 124, over under 8.5, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Orioles -1.5 is +114. Nats +1.5 is -137. All right. So this pick, I'm basing it off potential. And I think Josiah Gray has a lot of potential. So I'm going under 4.5 Oriole runs, -108. Twins Red Sox from Fenway. Sonny Gray and Chris Sale. Twins -110, Red Sox -106, over under 9, -110 each way. Twins -1.5 is +142. Red Sox +1.5 is -172. Twins is the pick, easy, -110. Sonny Gray's looked amazing. Chris Sale looks washed. Simple analysis as that. Doubleheader game 2, Phillies White Sox, 7:30. Bailey Falter and Lucas Giolito. White Sox -124, Phillies +106, over under 8.5. Overs -105, unders -115. Phillies +1.5 is -188. White Sox -1.5 is +155. I'll take full game over in this game. Rangers Royals. Nathan Eovaldi and Brad Keller. Texas -124, Royals +106, over under 9. Overs -102, unders -120. Rangers -1.5 is +132. Royals +1.5 is -160. This Texas team is good. But you know also is good. Brad Keller so far this season. So I'm going to go under Ranger runs, under 4.5 at -115. D-backs Cardinals 7:45. Drake Jamison and Jordan Montgomery. Really good pitching matchup there. Cards -174. D-backs +146, over under 8, -110 each way. D-backs +1.5 is -150. Cards -1.5 is +125. I'm going to go with the full game under. Blue Jays Astros at 8. Chris Bassett and Jose Urquidy. So the Astros looked like the Astros we know last night. Let's see if they do it again. Astros -112. Blue Jays -104, over under 9. Overs -105. Unders -115. Jays -1.5 is +160. Astros +1.5 is -194. For this one, I'm going to do... that's a hard one. I'm going to go with the Astros on the money line, -112. I'm surprised that they're priced only that much. 8:30, Pirates Rockies. Vince Velasquez, Jose Urena. Pirates -112, Rockies -104, over under 12.5. Overs -122, unders even money. Pittsburgh -1.5 is +130. Rockies +1.5 is -156. Both these guys stink, but I like how Pittsburgh's played so far this year. They're 10-7. I'm going to take them straight up at -112. They're selling them short too here. 9:30 Cubs A's. Marcus Stroman, Ken Waldichuk. Cubs -174. A's +146. Over under 8. Overs even money. Unders -122. Cubs -1.5 is -105. A's +1.5 is -114. I'm going to go over 4.5 Cubs runs at even money. I don't like this Cubs team. Brewers Mariners, good series. Colin Rea and Logan Gilbert. Mariners -164. Brewers +138. Over under 8. Overs -105. Unders -115. Brewers +1.5 is -152. Mariners -1.5 is +126. I'm going full game under. And last but not least, 10 o'clock, TBS. Mets Dodgers. That's a good game for TBS. It's not going to be Brian Anderson and Ron Darling because Ron Darling's with SNY and Brian Anderson's doing the NBA. So, interested to see who gets this game. Is it going to be Brendan Burke maybe? But he has Islanders. That wouldn't make sense. It's not going to be Kenny Albert because he has the Rangers. So, would it be Ernie Johnson? No. I'm fascinated to see who calls this game. It's probably going to be Bob Costas. Tyler McGill and Clayton Kershaw. Dodgers -172. Mets +144. Over under 8. Overs -114. Unders -106. Mets +1.5 is -144. Dodgers -1.5 is +120. For this one, I'm going to go with under 3.5 Met runs, -115. I think this is a good spot for Clayton Kershaw to kind of turn back the clock a little bit after a subpar start for him by his standards. We're going to move on to soccer now. We will go over notable games from yesterday, and I don't think there's that much soccer today. So we had Spanish La Liga yesterday. Mallorca over Celta Vigo, 1-0. Italian Serie A, Fiorentina and Atalanta, 1-1 draw. English Premier League, Liverpool over Leeds, 6-1. So that is a crazy final score there. And let me just check and see if there was ELC. Oh, we have ELC today. And then quickly want to see if there was Dutch. All right, no Dutch until Wednesday. So we do have English League Championship today. There's a lot of games. 2:45, we have Blackpool and West Brom. So we'll start with that for soccer. I'm just going to pull up that league for a second. Blackpool plus 290, West Brom minus 110, draw plus 250. Ooh, I don't like the pick, but I'm going to lay it with West Brom minus 110. Rotherham and Burnley. Burnley minus 170, Rotherham plus 480, draw plus 280. I'm going to go over 2.5 goals plus 110. That pick I actually like. Sheffield United, Bristol City. Sheffield minus 240, Bristol plus 600, draw plus 330. Sheffield's really good. Can't bet against them. This is a fun one. I'm going to go both teams to score. Yes, minus 106. Stoke and Wigan. Stoke minus 195, Wigan plus 550, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with the draw plus 290. Sunderland and Huddersfield. Sunderland minus 175, Huddersfield plus 40, draw plus 290. I'm going to go with the draw here too at plus 490. Sunderland and, oh no, we just did Sunderland and Huddersfield. Last but not least, 3 o'clock, we have Millwall and Birmingham. Millwall minus 165, Birmingham plus 460, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with the draw here too at plus 250. UEFA Champions League today, 3 o'clock, we have Chelsea and Real Madrid. Oh, baby. That's for sure. Real Madrid's plus 155 on the road, Chelsea's plus 170 at home, draw plus 250. Real Madrid's just better than Chelsea right now. I'm taking them plus 155 on the road. And then you have Napoli and Milan. Napoli minus 120, Milan plus 350, draw plus 250. I'm going to go with the draw here at plus 250. And then the Saudi Pro League, Friday results. Al Batin over Al Hilal 1-0, and Al Ittifaq over Al Faya 1-0. One game today, 3 o'clock, you have Al Hilal and Al Nassr. I'm going to quickly see if it's on the live list for 3 o'clock. And it is not. All right, so that's it for soccer. All right, American Idol from last night. It was a good show. It was the latter half of the top 26. So, first up went Elijah McCormick. He performed Good Vibes by Chris Jansen. I thought that was solid. Paige Ann went next. She performed Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus. Paige Ann wasn't supposed to be in the top 26, so there must have been a dropout somewhere that that we're not aware of. So we're going to look at that at the end of the segment. And she was outstanding. Mary Beth Bird did Heart Like a Truck by Lainey Wilson. I felt that was not her best. Weani, The Edge of Midnight by Miley Cyrus and Stevie Nicks. She was very good. Michael Williams, Tuesdays by Jay Scott. Nice performance. Dawson Wayne performed Copycat by Billie Eilish. I thought he was good. Hannah Nicolaisen performed Glitter in the Air by Pink, one of my favorite performances of the night. She was phenomenal. Megan Danielle performed The Chain by Fleetwood Mac. I thought she just sounded a little not confident. Malik Hurd performed Ain't It Fun by Paramore. I thought he was solid. Olivia Solie performed The Motions by Mariah Carey. She was outstanding. The guest mentor this week was Noah Cyrus. She performed her new song, Everybody Needs Someone. She was outstanding. And I really liked her as a guest mentor. And I thought she was actually a little bit better than Alan Stone in terms of a guest mentor. Colin Stout performed Midnight Train to Memphis by the Steel Drivers. I thought he was okay. Tyson Venegas performed It Will Rain by Bruno Mars. I thought that was the best performance of the evening and perhaps the best performance of the top 26 period. I thought Tyson was amazing. And then Nutsa went last. She performed Paris, Ooh La La by Grace Porter and the Nocturnals. I thought she was actually solid, and I'm not the biggest Nutsa fan. I just thought she had an attitude in Hollywood. But I thought she sang well this week. I really did. All right, so as we know, they're going to split up the two groups, and the bottom three of each group go home. And the three that I think might be in trouble are Colin, Megan, and Mary Beth. And this group was good. I thought both groups were good. And I think they evened them out pretty well as well. And let's see here why Paige Ann got into the top 26 here. So there was a contestant that dropped out. Oh, wait a minute. So that's why they showed 25 contestants getting in instead of 26. They didn't show who dropped out. All right, so let's see here. So Seacrest announced that a singer dropped out, making space for the judge's first alternate to rejoin the show. Yeah, so Seacrest did not reveal who quit, and only 25 singers were shown. So that's interesting. I think Caitlin Hedges personally should have been brought back because I thought she was the best contestant that went home of the female. So it must have been a female that dropped out. So it was unrevealed who dropped out. I I wonder if it was one of the girls that were in the I'm Still Standing trio with Aiden Boyer that dropped out. I'm trying to think of who else it could have been. I know Kaya Monet didn't make it, so I have a feeling it was one of those two girls that did I'm Still Standing with Aiden Boyer in duets round. If I had to guess who it was, because I can't think of anybody else that was decent. Alrighty, Major League Baseball power rankings. We were supposed to do this on the show yesterday, but time got in the way. So this segment might go a little longer than I think. So some overreactions for the first 2.5 weeks of the season. And then we're going to talk about what's to come for the next couple of weeks for each team. Number 30 is the Washington Nationals. They're bad. They're 5-11. Oh, wait. That's the wrong power rankings. I was just going to say, there's no way that's the right one. Yeah, here we go. Number 30 is the Oakland Athletics. Come on. I would have been stupid if I didn't pick the A's 30th. So I knew I had the wrong list up. So the A's are 3-14 on the year, minus 72 run differential. Coming up, so they have the series against the Cubs at home, and then they're at the Rangers for 4 to close out the month. They are at the Angels and then home against the Reds. My overreaction through the first 2.5 weeks, they don't get to 50 wins. And then we're going to look back and see which one of these are right and which one of these are wrong. Number 29 is the Kansas City Royals. They are 4-13 on the season, minus 32 run differential. So right now they're in a series with the Rangers at home. Then they are at the Angels. And then to kick off next week at the D-backs. And then to close out April at the Twins for 4. My overreaction for them is that Brad Keller is on his way to a career year. Number 28 is the Washington Nationals. 5-11 on the year, minus 21 run differential. So now they have this 2-game series with the Orioles. Then they're at the Twins over the weekend, at the Mets to start next week, and then home for the Pirates to close out April. My overreaction for them is Mackenzie Gore is the next staff ace. Number 27 is the Detroit Tigers. They're 5-9 on the year, minus 37 run differential. They've won 3 in a row, though, to be fair. Right now, they're in the series with the Guardians at home. And then over the weekend, they're at the Orioles for 3. And then they're at the Brewers for 3 to start next week. And then the Orioles come to town to close out April. So they just finished with the Orioles in this whole month. My overreaction for them is that Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson will not pan out to what they think. 26 is the Colorado Rockies. They are 5-12 on the year, minus 38 run differentials. They've lost 6 straight games. They're in a series right now with the Pirates at home. Then they're at the Phillies for 4, including the Peacock game. And then they're at the Guardians to start next week. And then next weekend they host the Diamondbacks. My overreaction for them is that Chris Bryant lost his power touch since being at Coors. Well, these were typed yesterday, and of course he hits a home run last night. Number 25 is the Cincinnati Reds. They're 7-9 on the year. Plus 2 run differential, by the way. So maybe they're a little better than we think. Coming up for them, they have the Rays at home. And then they're at the Pirates for 4. And then they come back and host the Rangers for 3. And then they're at Oakland for 3 to close out April. My overreaction for them, this was typed up before last night's brilliant performance. I said that Hunter Green will end up the next big-time pitching bust. But he was really good last night. So, like I said, this was typed up yesterday before yesterday's games. Number 24, the San Francisco Giants are 5-10 on the year, -7 run differential, losers of 4 straight. Right now, they're at the Marlins, and then they're coming home to host the Mets for 4, including the Saturday Fox game and then Sunday Night Baseball. Then they're home to the Cardinals for 4, and then at the Padres, or I should say, against the Padres for 2, the Mexico City series. Number 23 is the Chicago White Sox. 6-10 on the year, -23 run differential. My overreaction for the Giants. Alex Wood will end up their best starter this season. All right, so the White Sox, like I said, very disappointing start for them. 6-10 on the year, -23 run differential. So they're hosting the Phillies for 3. Then over the weekend, they're at the Rays. So it's actually regional coverage on Fox on Saturday. And then next week, at the Blue Jays for 3. And then they are hosting the Rays for 4. So they're going to get the Rays out of the way in April. Maybe not the best time to see the Rays. My overreaction for them is that the manager change doesn't change anything. Number 22, the Boston Red Sox. They are 8-9 on the year, +2 run differential. So they're not that bad. They just played some good teams, I guess. The Pirates are better than expected and stuff like that. So they just finished up a home series against the Angels. They won 3 out of 4. Good for them. And then they host the Twins for 3. And then they're at the Brewers for 3. That's a test. And then they're at the Orioles for 3. And then they host the Guardians for 3 to close out April. My overreaction for Boston, the young infielders won't pan out. And I'm talking about Bobby Dahlbeck and Tristan Casas. Number 21 is the Philadelphia Phillies. 6-10 on the year, -16 run differential. They're 500 in their last 10 after starting the year 0-4. So they're at the White Sox for 3. And then they host the Rockies for 4, including the Peacock game on Sunday. So that's an opportunity for them to bounce back. And then they're home for the Mariners for 3. That's tough. And then a rematch with the Astros to close out April, including Sunday Night Baseball. And then the Apple TV Plus game on Friday the 28th. And my overreaction for the Phillies is injuries will force hard trade deadline decisions for the Phillies. Number 20 is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. 8-8 on the year. +12 run differential. That's good for them. 2 back of the Rangers in that division. So they just finished up a series against the Red Sox. They lost 3 out of 4. And then they're at the Yankees for 3. That's a test series for the Angels. And then over the weekend, they host the Royals. And then they host the A's for 4. And then they're back on the road for 3 to close out April against the Brewers, which is another test series. My overreaction for the Angels is that Tyler Anderson continues pitcher's trend of step back after career year. Number 19 is the St. Louis Cardinals. They are 7-9 on the year, +2 run differential, 4.5 back in the division. 7-10 on the year, 5 back in the division, -10 run differential. I was looking at the Reds. Yikes. So they started a series with the Diamondbacks yesterday. They host them for 3. Then they're at the Mariners for 3. That's hard. And then they're at the Giants for 4. And then they are at the Dodgers for 3, including a night game on Fox Sports 1 on Saturday, and then the Friday night Apple TV Plus game. So a hard schedule coming up for the Cardinals, even with this slow start. Overreaction. Jack Flaherty is back and better than ever. Number 18 is the Miami Marlins. They are 9-8 on the year, 4 back of the Braves. They're minus 25 run differential. 6-4 in their last 10. So they started a series with the Giants yesterday. That's a 3-gamer. Then they're at the Guardians for 3. That's hard. At the Braves for 4. That's really hard. And to close out April, a fun series against the Cubs, including a game on Fox on Saturday and the Peacock game on Sunday afternoon. My overreaction for Miami. Luis Arraez is the best hitter in the league. 17, the Pittsburgh Pirates. They are 10-7 on the year, 2 back of Milwaukee in the division, plus 6 run differential, 500 in their last 10 though. So they started a series with the Rockies yesterday in Colorado for 3. Then they host the Reds for 4. That's a kind of a take care of business series. And they host the Dodgers for 3 next week. Whoo, is that a test series for them? And then they're at the Nats for 3 to close out April. My overreaction for them is that Brian Reynolds will remain in Pittsburgh past the deadline with their good start. Number 16 is the Arizona Diamondbacks. They're 10-7 on the year, first place in the division, plus 1 run differential, 7-3 in their last 10. So they started the series at the Cardinals yesterday. They have 3 there, and then they're hosting the Padres for 4. Then they host the Royals for 3. Then they're at the Rockies for 3. So we'll see where things stand after that Rockies series. And my overreaction for them is that Madison Bumgarner on his way to being designated for assignment. The San Diego Padres are 15. They're 8-10 on the year, 2.5 back of the D-backs, minus 4 run differential, 4-6 in their last 10. So they're seeing the Braves for the second time this year already. They host them for 3. Then they're at the D-backs for 4 over the weekend. To start next week, they're at the Cubs for 3. That's going to be a fun series. And then 2 in Mexico City against the Giants to close out April. And then my overreaction for them, money doesn't always buy success. Number 14, the Cleveland Guardians. They're 9-7 on the year, 1 back of the Twins for first, minus 2 run differential, 500 in their last 10. So today they start a series at the Tigers for 3, then they host the Marlins for 3, then they host the Rockies for 3, then they're at the Red Sox for 3 to close out April. My overreaction for them is that the injury to Tristan McKenzie could cost them the division. All right, here's a juicy overreaction. Number 13, the Houston Astros. They're 8-9 on the year, 2.5 back of Texas. They're plus 14 run differential, 500 in their last 10. So they have 3 against the Blue Jays at home. Then potential World Series preview at the Braves over the weekend, including Friday night on Apple TV+. Then at the Rays for 3. That's a test series for Tampa Bay. And then the World Series rematch against the Phillies to close out April, including Apple TV+ Friday and Sunday Night Baseball on Sunday. My overreaction for the Astros. The loss of Jose Altuve with the finger injury. And the free agent loss of Justin Verlander could cost them a playoff spot. What now? I know I'm going to look like an idiot in July when they're up 5 in the division. Number 12 is the Los Angeles Dodgers. They are 8-9 on the year, 2 back of the D-backs for first, plus 16 run differential, 3-7 their last 10. That's pretty bad for that team. So they have this 3-game series against the Mets that they started yesterday. Then they're at the Cubs for 4, which is fun. And then at the Pirates for 3. That's a test for Pittsburgh. And then they close out April hosting the Cardinals. They have the late night Apple TV Plus game and then Fox Sports 1 on Saturday. My overreaction to the Dodgers is that they will regret not re-signing Trey Turner or going for a different shortstop. Number 11, the Seattle Mariners. They're 8-9 in the year, 2.5 back of Texas, plus 4 run differential, 6-4 in their last 10, so they kind of turned it on after losing that opening series to the Guardians. So to start this week, they host the Brewers, and then they host the Cards for 3, then they're at the Phillies for 3, and then they close out April at the Blue Jays. My overreaction for Seattle, Luis Castillo, the AL Cy Young favorite. Number 10 is the Baltimore Orioles. Yes, the Orioles. That's how this season's gone so far. They're 8-9 on the year, 6 back of Tampa, plus 2 run differential, 500 in their last 10. All right, no, that's Boston. My mistake. Baltimore's 9-7. I read the wrong team. Baltimore's 9-7, 4.5 back of the Rays, plus 7 run differential, 6-4 in their last 10. So that makes more sense. But yeah, the Orioles' intent is what kind of year they're having. And what kind of year the league's having so far. At the Nats for 2 to start the week, and then over the weekend they host the Tigers. And then the Red Sox come to town for 3, and then the close April, they're at the Tigers for. So this schedule gets light for the O's. So I won't be shocked if the O's go on a little bit of a run here to potentially be right with the Yankees in Toronto for in that middle range. My overreaction for the O's, Adley Rutschman, AL MVP candidate. Number 9, the Chicago Cubs. Yes, the Cubs. 9-6 on the year, 2 back of the Brewers, plus 25 run differential, 73 in the last 10. They're playing great baseball. All right, so they're at the A's for 3 to start the week. They close the week hosting the Dodgers for 4. That is money. That's a prove-it series for Chicago. And then another prove-it series is they host the Padres for 3. And they close out April at the Marlins, including a Saturday afternoon game on Fox and a Sunday early afternoon game on Peacock. My overreaction for the Cubs is that Marcus Stroman, NL Cy Young candidate. Number 8 is the Minnesota Twins. They're 10-6 on the year, first in the division, plus 18 run differential, 6-4 in their last 10. They lost their last 2 to the Yankees. So they start a series in Fenway tonight against the Red Sox. That's for 3. And they host the Nats for 3. And then the Yankees come to town for 3. So they just have the Yankees this month. And then they host the Royals for 4. My overreaction for the Twins, Pablo Lopez was the ace they lacked. I combined the word ace and lacked together that made it come out saying ass, so that's funny. It was the ace they lacked. All right, number 7 is the Texas Rangers. First place in the West, 10-6 on the year, plus 24 run differential, 6-4 in their last 10. So they're at the Royals for 3 as they started that yesterday. They host the A's for 3 this weekend. And then they go at the Reds next week. And then 4 to close out the month at home against the Yankees. That's a test series for Texas, the Yankee series. But they did win 2 out of 3 against the Astros, which is wonderful. All right, so Rangers, they won't miss Corey Seager that much. They're still in first without Corey Seager. He's on the injured list. Number 6 is the Milwaukee Brewers. They're 12-5 on the year, first in the division, plus 32 run differential, 6-4 in their last 10. So they started a series at Seattle last night for 3. Then they host Boston for 3. Then they host the Tigers for 3. And then they host the Angels for 3. So the schedule gets a little bit easier for Milwaukee to close April. My overreaction for them is that they'll win the NL Central. Number 5, the Toronto Blue Jays. They are 10-7 on the year, 4 back of the Rays, -7 run differential. So you can make a case that they've performed the worst of any of the teams in the division so far. So they're at the Astros for 3 to start this week. And then they're at the Yankees to close out the week, including Apple TV Plus on Friday night. So that's a big series for both teams. And then host the White Sox for 3. And then they host the Mariners for 3. My overreaction for the Blue Jays, Jose Barrios is the American League's Patrick Corbin. I saw somebody on Twitter say that, and I kind of just mocked and laughed at it. But Barrios has been awful as a Twin, and his ERA is over 7 to start the year. So, that's very wild to think about. Yeah, 7.98 ERA. His ERA is almost an 8. Number 4, the New York Yankees, 10-6 on the year, 3.5 back of the Rays in the division, +25 run differential. So this week they host the Angels for 3, then they host the Blue Jays for 3, then they're at the Twins for 3, and then they close out the week at the Rangers for 4. So a very difficult-ish schedule for the Yankees to close out April with surprising teams in the Twins and the Rangers to close out April. So those are kind of prove-it series for those two teams. I should say the Yankees' opponents. And my overreaction is that Frankie Cordero is this year's Matt Carpenter. Number 3, the New York Mets. They're 11-6 on the year, 2 back of the Braves in the division, +14 run differential. Winners of 5 straight, 8-2 in their last 10. So the Mets are rolling after those couple of disastrous games in Milwaukee. So they start the week at the Dodgers, and then they go at the Giants as they have a game on Fox on Saturday, Sunday Night Baseball Sunday. Then they host the Nats for 3, and then the big one, home for the Braves to close out April for 3, including Saturday on Fox. My overreaction for the Mets is that Kodai Senga will win the National League Rookie of the Year. Senga has just been money so far and has helped soften the blow. I know he had a rough start his last time out against Oakland, but this kid is really good, and he's, like I said, he's helped soften the blow of Verlander a little bit. Number 2, the Atlanta Braves. They're 13-4 on the year, +26 run differential, winners of 7 straight. So they're at the Padres right now for 3, and then potentially the World Series preview as they host the Astros for 3, and then they host the Marlins for 4, and then they close out the week with a big series at the Mets, including the Saturday game on Fox. So they get the Padres early, and the Padres beat them 3 out of 4 in that first weekend series. My overreaction for the Braves is that they are the World Series favorites. They were my pick to win the World Series before the year, but I think that they should be considered the favorites and not the Padres and not the Astros. It's them. And number 1, the Tampa Bay Rays, 14-3 on the year. They started the year a absolutely staggering 13-0. You never see that. And then they go and lose a series to the Blue Jays. They lost 3 of their last 4 games, though. So they are at the Reds for 3. Then they're hosting the White Sox for 3. Then they host the Astros for 3. Then they're at the White Sox for 4. So they get the White Sox out of the way this month. And my overreaction for the Rays is that they'll win the AL East. I mean, that's just the easy overreaction. The easiest overreaction on the board. We'll see if that 13-0 start ultimately ends up the reason for someone not named the Yankees or the Blue Jays to win the AL East this year. All right, so there you have it for the power rankings. And now I'm going to do the portfolio. I'm going to find the future bet, and I'll make it. So this is one of my favorite things to do. I love the portfolio. The NFL draft is coming up, and I haven't made a future bet on the NFL draft yet. So I'm going to do that. So I like betting on the overall picks. That's a lot of fun. And I think that you can get a lot of value with a lot of these bets. So the number 8 overall picks the Atlanta Falcons. You know who the favorite is right now? It's a co-favorite. It's Nolan Smith and Bijan Robinson. You can get a lot of value with somebody with this pick. In my mock drafts of late, I've had Myles Murphy. I had him there twice in the 8 spot. My last 2 mocks I did. Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter. But Joey Porter's not even like a thought at that spot. And let's say I'm going to go to my recent mock. Let's say it's Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, Will Anderson or a quarterback. Will Anderson or a quarterback. Either Carter or Wilson. Carter, Wilson, Gonzalez. Let's just say like Carter and Wilson go 5 and 6. The Raiders take Gonzalez. And then the 8 spot is kind of wide open. I know Gonzalez, I don't see him falling to 8. That's 14-1. Devon Witherspoon and Myles Murphy, I think, have the most value here in terms of where they can be picked. Devon Witherspoon is plus 350 to go 7th and plus 110 amazingly to go 6th. But let's say that Witherspoon, so it's either going to be Witherspoon or Gonzalez. And even Myles Murphy's in play. So there's a ton of value on those 3 guys. And I know my last 2 mocks I had Myles Murphy. And there's also a world where both corners can go 6 and 7. But Wilson is 6-1. So I'd say one of the corners have value because I think Wilson, I can't see him falling past 7 to the Raiders at this point. Maybe the Falcons trade out of the pick. And I kind of think this is very hard to do. And the Bears obviously need a tackle. And I think the Eagles will probably go with a pass rusher. But, that's behind them. So, at gunpoint, I would say it's Bryce, it's CJ, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson, Jalen Carter, Tyree Wilson or the other or Christian Gonzalez. And then Witherspoon, I think, could drop. And I think Myles Murphy can drop too. It's between Devon Witherspoon and Myles Murphy. But pass rushers, I think, are very valuable. So I'm going to go Myles Murphy 14-1. I'm going to do a fifth of a unit on that for Myles Murphy at 14-1 to be the number 8 overall pick in the draft. It's my first NFL draft portfolio pick. All right, the news and notes for today. I know I took a while on that portfolio pick because I was just so undecided. My goodness. Let's start with football. The Giants to host Tennessee quarterback Hendon Hooker. I just think that they just like to visit a lot of players. I just do. So Bryce Young is now minus 1,000 to go first overall as he canceled his remaining pre-draft visits. So it looks like he's going to be it, and he should be it. He always should have been it. The Panthers, I think, were throwing a smokescreen out there with CJ. The Pats are sticking with Mac Jones as they're not in on Lamar and not expected to select the quarterback early in the draft. That's not surprising. We talked about Jalen Hurts getting paid. And there's a lot of subplots to this. How does this affect Lamar Jackson's negotiations with the Ravens or potentially another team? The Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert contracts that the those two respective teams, the Bengals and the Chargers, are inevitably going to pull the trigger on. So a lot of ramifications of this, but good on the Eagles for getting this done. Teams are calling the Texans for the number 2 picks as the Nick Caserio says the Texans are opening the listing to teams looking to trade up. I think that that's a smokescreen. I know it looks like Bryce is going to Carolina. CJ's a good consolation prize. I think you're going to stay at 2 and pick CJ. A lot of basketball stuff. Draymond Green got ejected as Draymond claims that his leg was grabbed and says the refs told him he stomped too hard. And then Draymond defends himself as he posts the photo of Sabonis grabbing his ankle before making the stomp that led to his ejection. The Defensive Player of the Year award winner, Jaren Jackson Jr., as he beats out Brooke Lopez and Evan Mobley to become the second Grizzlies player to win the award other than Marc Gasol. So good for Triple J. I think he deserved the award. Joel Embiid trolls the Grizzlies as he wants the Memphis scorekeeper after only being credited with 3 blocks in Game 2. That's funny. New CBA details as there's new in-season tournament awards eligibility, salary increases, and more. So DeMontis Sabonis got evaluated after getting stepped on by Draymond, as the X-ray came back negative, so that's good for Sabonis. There's optimism that Giannis can be back tomorrow night against the Heat. They need him back. My goodness. John Morant might miss Game 2, as Woj says there's significant doubt that he'll be able to play in Game 2. So it was an interesting NBA night for sure. We talked about Josh Hart being doubtful due to a left ankle sprain. That's brutal for the Knicks bench. Isaac Okoro calls out Jalen Brunson, as he's been warning refs about tactics Jalen uses to draw fouls. Some hockey stuff. Patrice Bergeron missed Game 1 against the Panthers due to an illness. And they still won. Mark Stone to play in Game 1 against the Jets. So that is wonderful news for Vegas. And then Jim Montgomery did say that there was a bug going through Boston's locker room, as there's some players uncertain for Game 1, including Bergeron, who did not play. But they still won Game 1. I did say Bruins would sweep. All right, another big move in hockey in terms of a team that missed the postseason. Calgary Flames and Brad Treliving mutually agreed to part ways. That is not surprising. Very disappointing year for Calgary. And now they're going to be looking for a new general manager. Real Madrid takes aims at Barca as Los Blancos post inflammatory 4-minute video in response to Laporta's Club of the Regime comments. And there's reports saying about a new NHL arena in Atlanta, as reports saying renderings for an 18,500 seat arena in Georgia could lure an NHL team back to Atlanta. That would be a fun story if that were to come into fruition. So Fernando Tatis Jr. was back at Petco Park yesterday as he rejoins the team with 3 games left in suspension, eligible to return on Thursday. Jacob deGrom exits his start early with no hit innings due to right wrist soreness. We'll see how that pans out. Good news for the Braves. Max Fried reinstated off the injured list because of his hamstring injury that he suffered on opening day. And then Giancarlo Stanton will be out 4 to 6 weeks due to the hamstring strain. He expects midseason return. Timeline may be extended given injury history. So my guess is that he's back before the All-Star break, but after Memorial Day, around that June 15th range. Some college stuff. Landon Thomas flips commitment from Georgia to Florida State, as he initially committed to the Seminoles in 2021. That's a tight end commit. And then basketball, Eric Musselman and the Arkansas Land Ellis, who averaged over 17 a game with Louisiana this past season. All right, best bet of the day brought to you by FanDuel. So we have some interesting choices. One jumped out to me, and it was an over in one of the playoff games. It's over 5.5 in the Vegas Jets game. I'm going to lay a half unit on it. I like the pick a lot. And this could be a 3-2 game and Vegas scores an empty net and it's over. So I like over 5.5 goals, -110 between the Jets and the Golden Knights for my best bet tonight. All right, so that's it for the show. I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything. We got everything. Tomorrow we have no golf this week, so it's one less thing for us to worry about. We have to preview Masked Singer and Survivor tomorrow and a lot of other stuff that we must do. Hope you guys have a great day, everyone.